Hi there, it's Grandma Roseanne, and we're going to do a part of our beginner series because I think it's important if you want to learn how to cook, we start at the very basics. Now, we're going to make a vanilla cake. I can give you probably 100 recipes with 30 ingredients to make that cake. But if you're a beginner, let's just start at the beginning. We're going to start with a cake mix. Now, you might think, oh, it's gonna be awful, it's gonna be terrible. Cake mixes are not awful and they are not terrible. I will actually tell you a story. I have always made German chocolate cake because my oldest son loves it. I've always made it from scratch. It's a very difficult cake to make. One day I was really pressed for time. I picked up a box of this, I made it. It took me about 4 minutes to make it. My son couldn't even tell the difference. So the cakes, from what they were years ago, where they were not good, have them just dramatically improved. Don't be afraid to try one. So for our beginners, what we're going to do is we're going to use the cake mix, but I'm also going to teach you how to make an outrageous buttercream frosting, because when you buy those cans of frosting, they have not improved like the cake mix did. But I will show you how you can kind of skimp on the process here, but man, you're gonna make it up on the frosting. So we're gonna make cupcakes because cameraman has been driving me crazy wanting cupcakes, right?
Yes, ma'am, I have been.
Yes, yes, he has. So the cupcakes are gonna be for cameraman today. All right, so the first thing that we need, and your instructions are right in the back here so you'll be able to see them so simply. We want a cup of water. I put the water in my mixer first. Then a half a cup of oil. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever you'd like. 3 eggs, and you're going to use the whole egg. And what I like to do is I like to mix this up first so I can get those eggs broken and incorporated. So I'm just going to give this a mix, because what you do not want to do is over mix the, get in there. I've only used it 9 million times. You don't want to over mix it once you get your cake batter in there. You don't want to do that. So here, if I just break up those eggs, can you see that? Just for a couple of seconds is all I did. Now then, I can dump the whole cake mix in, like that. And now, just until it's incorporated. I always recommend scraping down those sides. Those sides are very important. Our cake is done. Our cake is done. The batter is done. So I will tell you, I have no problem using a cake mix every once in a while if I don't have enough time, because I think they're just fine to use. I really do. Alrighty. Now, what you're going to want to do, because we're making cupcakes, you always want to have everything ready before. That's important. If you don't have any of these little cupcake holders, that's not a problem. What you want to do is get some butter on a piece of saran wrap, go around the bottom, around the sides, dust all of them with flour, dump it out, dump the flour out, and now you have coated this so that when your cupcake is done, you can lift it right out. You don't have to use the papers, but I have the papers, so I'm using them. Now you're going to want to fill them. You want to be careful not to overfill. That's kind of important. You don't want to go beyond 3/4 full on this. Now I have this handy dandy little tool, which I love. I use it all the time. But if you don't have a little tool like that, just get a ladle. It's going to do exactly the same thing. There. All right, cameraman, come and show them this slick thing. Cool, huh? Now, cameraman always teases me about all my gadgets. And you know, rightfully so. I have a lot of gadgets, I really do. But I use them. So it's not wasteful for me. So if you get things like this that are just fun, and it's so much easier if you're making pancakes, so much easier to use. Alrighty. So this is going to go into the oven, 12 to 16 minutes, depending on your oven. And then we let them cool, and then I am going to show you how to make an absolutely phenomenal frosting. You're going to be loving that. Let me get the rest of the batter out of here. This really smells good. And I will tell you, whether it's Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines or this moist thing that I got, all of them seem to be good. They really do. I don't think that there's been much of a difference in any of the cake mixes I have. And you know what, beginners? You don't have to tell anybody it came out of a box. I mean, that can be just between us. Don't tell anybody. My husband has a friend coming over today, and I'm going to send some of these cupcakes back with him, for him and his wife. Hello, Judy. Hello, T. But they think I make everything from scratch. Not this one. So it's fun. You know, again, because it's just cameraman and I, we can't eat all of this stuff. So I give it to my neighbors and we give it to friends, and that makes the cooking even better. Alrighty. These are, this little gizmo is great for pancakes, you guys. It's really good for pancakes, or any loose batter that you have. Okay, we are just about there. Okay, what I'm gonna do is pop it in the oven. I will be back in 17 minutes maximum. I'll time them, I'll check them. And you check them by sticking a toothpick inside, all right? If you pull the toothpick out and it has batter on it, let it go another couple of minutes. But you should stick the toothpick inside, pull it out, and it should be clean, and that means that your cupcake is baked all the way through. All right. Now, I like to just give it a little bit of a pop, just like that. Get the air bubbles out of it. It's going in the oven. I will see you back shortly. Now we're going to test this by putting the toothpick in the center of it, just like this, bringing it out, and you see it is clean. That means this has been done, cooked perfectly. So we're going to pull it out right now. Going to set it over here, and now all we have to do is let this cool down, and then we're going to make the buttercream frosting and put it on top. Now you're going to want to hang around for the buttercream frosting. Trust me, it is outrageously good. So I'll be back as soon as these cool down and we'll get to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to delve right into this buttercream frosting. Now there's a lot of buttercream frostings out there, and I have tried countless of them. For the most part, I don't care for them. They just get like too thick, and they don't have that rich, creamy taste to them. I found this recipe a long time ago, and I will tell you, it's wonderful, so don't be afraid of it. So what we're going to be using is powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, heavy cream, butter, and vanilla. So it's a very simple recipe. Now, beginners, if you don't have a scale like this, I really recommend that you get one if you really want to start doing some really good cooking. It's only like $15, very, very inexpensive. I will tell you, I am 78 years old, and for I think 70 years of my life, I cooked without a scale, all right? So can you do it? Of course. But once I learned how valuable the scale was, it's invaluable to me now. I use it every single day where I didn't think I really would get much use out of it. So give it some consideration. We need 16 ounces of confectioner's sugar. Now, all you do, turn it on, zero it out, put the light on. Now, it's zero right now. Now, I'm going to put a bowl on here. Now, that bowl is going to have weight to it. So what I'm going to do is tare it again. And that just brings right here. This bowl is 3 ounces. What I'm going to do is hit a zero. Now, the ingredients that I'm putting in are going to be just the powdered sugar. The bowl is not a factor in this. So what I'm going to do is put in 16 ounces of powdered sugar. I will break it out in cups for you in case you don't have a mixer in case you don't have a scale like this, all right? So you do need to, on any kind of powdered sugar, you do need to sift it because it is just lumps like crazy in powdered sugar. Now, I usually do not mix it this way or sift it this way. I put it into my Cuisinart, I give it 2 pulses, and it's done. But I don't know if you have a Cuisinart, so I'm just going to show you how to do this. Now, if you don't have a sifter like this, that's okay. If you don't have a Cuisinart, that's okay. You can do it in this as well, okay? So, we're just gonna do 16 ounces here. And what happens when you use a scale is that you are absolutely accurate. Because I say 3 cups, but what is my 3 cups compared to your 3 cups? You know, did you pack yours in a little bit heavier than I did? All of those make a difference when you're baking. They don't make so much of a difference when you're cooking, but when you're baking, it really does make a difference. See, this goes very quickly. I'm at 14, and I'm going to show you how to use this one. All you do is this. Just pat it against your hand. That's all you have to do. And they're both of these systems, as well as your Cuisinart, is going to do exactly the same thing. It's getting all those lumps. Can you see all those lumps in there? You definitely do not want those in your frosting. And this is why I love my Cuisinart, because this step right here takes about 2 pulses, and it's done. That's taking too long for me. I'm going back to my sifter. I saw something the other day on Facebook, and it said almost like, are you old enough to remember this? And it had a picture of this. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me. I just ordered a brand new one because I wanted a larger capacity. So yeah, I remember it. I still use it. All right, here we are at exactly 16 ounces.
Rolling.
So what we have done here is we have gotten that butter very, very soft. Now we want 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. And this is important, okay? It's whipping cream. Heavy cream is whipping cream. And you don't have to buy a big jug like this. You can buy a really small half pint of it. But the whipping cream, the heavy cream, is an important ingredient here. It really is. It gives it a whole different flavor and texture. So I would not recommend using milk. You really do want to use the cream. I'm going to mix that up a little bit. We're going to need a ½ teaspoon of salt, and salt is an incredible enhancer. You don't often think of salt going into your baked goods, but it really does. It's really important. And then we want 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now I'm using the vanilla paste here. If you're not familiar with it, let me get to the front of it. It's really a nice product, but it's not a typical product. The typical vanilla that you're going to use comes in a small little bottle like this, and you just use 1 tablespoon of that. Whatever you have on hand, you can use. But I really do like the flavor of the flavor of the vanilla paste. So I'm going to use that. There. But I think I like the taste of all vanilla. I don't care where it comes from. Do you know what vanilla is? Vodka. That's it. It's aged vodka with vanilla beans inside of it. Isn't that interesting? I did not realize that. It takes a long time. So you just get a bottle of vodka, you put your vanilla beans inside, and you wait 6 months to a year to 2 years, and you have vanilla. I'm not that patient. I buy it. Scraping down those sides, and I like getting all of this incorporated before I put the powdered sugar in. Now, 16 ounces of confectioner's sugar equates to, let's see how many cups so that you can be very accurate. 1, 2, and I'm going to run that so that it incorporates nicely. 3, 4. That would be about 5 1/4. Frosting. So we get all of it off of here.
You can hand it over here.
Cameraman, who is the official taster, because he has been after me so long to get this buttercream on that cupcake. So here, you need to taste this.
Oh my God. That is delicious, Rose. That really is.
It's a winner. Just a little spatula like this. And just get it on there nicely. Okay? Now, whoops. All right. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my kids would never have turned their nose up at that. Not ever. Those of you, and some of you may be young mothers out there, because I know when my kids were young and in school, and my hope is that the kids will be back in school before long. Now for you young mothers out there, and you're making beautiful little cupcakes for your chickadees, and oftentimes we had to take treats to school, and these were always a favorite of all of the children. Now, there is nothing wrong with this cupcake as it is. However, if you take just a moment, now, what child would not enjoy that? What cameraman would not enjoy that? So, what we are going to do is just finish decorating these. We are going to have them we're going to have a cup of tea pretty soon. It's a little later in the afternoon. So we're going to have some tea and some cupcake. Anyway, I hope you give this a try. It's not hard. It's not difficult. The frosting turned out really, really good. What I want to caution you, if your frosting seems like it's a little bit thick, add just a tiny bit more, like a half a teaspoon at a time to loosen it up, because sometimes it'll be a little bit thick on you. So with that being said, I'll leave you the ingredients below. The ingredients to the cake mix are on the box of the cake mix. And then I'll leave you the ingredients to the frosting. So subscribe, give us a thumbs up, talk to us, write us a comment, and we will see you on the next video. Ingredients below. Thank you for coming. Bye.